Have you ever stared at your to-do list for so long that you started contemplating the life choices that led you here? And then you quietly whispered to yourself, "Wow, I'm lazy." But what if I told you, you might be wrong? What if I told you that what you've been calling laziness could actually be depression wearing a disguise? Today, we're going to break down 6 crystal clear signs that you are not lazy. You're actually dealing with depression. And the difference between the two changes everything. In a world obsessed with hustle culture, the second you slow down, people throw the word lazy at you like it's an insult. But mental health doesn't play by those rules. Depression isn't just sadness. It's a neurological condition that literally changes how your brain processes motivation, focus, and energy. So before you keep calling yourself lazy, let's dig in. Because sign number 1 might explain why your mornings feel like climbing Mount Everest without oxygen or coffee. Tanta. Sign 1. You're exhausted no matter how much you rest. I'm not talking about, I stayed up too late watching Netflix tired. I'm talking about the bone-deep kind of exhaustion that no nap can fix. Depression messes with your circadian rhythm and your sleep cycles. It can cause you to get too much REM sleep, which is the part where you dream, but not enough deep restorative sleep. That's why you can sleep 8, 9, even 10 hours and still feel like you ran a marathon in your sleep. Laziness says, "I don't want to get up." Depression says, "I literally can't." And those two are very different things. And if exhaustion wasn't bad enough, the next sign makes you feel like your brain has been replaced with mashed potatoes. Sign 2. Your focus and memory have taken a hit. Ever read the same sentence 5 times and still have no idea what it says? That's called cognitive slowing, and it's a common symptom of depression. Depression impacts your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and working memory. Lazy people can still lock in when they want to. Depressed people sometimes can't, even when the stakes are high. And that's not a personality flaw. It's your brain chemistry misfiring. Hey, if you're already seeing yourself in these signs, don't go anywhere. Hit subscribe, because next week we're talking about 5 habits that look productive, but are secretly destroying your mental health. Sign 3. Things you used to love feel meaningless. Remember that hobby you loved? The one that used to light you up? Now it's just meh. That's called anhedonia, the loss of pleasure in things you used to enjoy. Laziness doesn't erase joy, it just ignores effort. Depression actually cuts off the reward signals in your brain, so even when you try, the spark just isn't there. And that can make you start wondering, who even am I anymore? And when that happens, the next sign tends to sneak in without you even noticing. Sign 4. You're constantly criticizing yourself. You're not just saying, "I forgot to do the dishes." You're saying, "I'm a failure because I forgot to do the dishes." Depression rewires your self-talk, turning small mistakes into proof of personal failure. Laziness says, I'll do it later." Depression says, "I'm worthless because I didn't do it now." This constant self-attack eats up more energy than any physical task. And the more you criticize yourself, the harder it becomes to do anything at all. Sign 5. Small tasks feel impossible. Taking out the trash, for most people, is a 2-minute job. For someone with depression, it's a 2-hour mental negotiation. This is called task paralysis. Your brain overestimates the effort, underestimates your ability, and floods you with stress before you even start. And no, that's not laziness. That's your nervous system hitting the brakes before you've even touched the wheel. Let's pause for a second. So far, we've seen that depression drains your energy, your focus, your joy, your self-worth, and even your ability to do small things. This isn't laziness. This is your mind asking for help. Sign 6. You avoid people, even the ones you like. You stop replying to texts. You cancel plans. You retreat into your own space. To you, laziness doesn't push people away. Depression makes even pleasant socializing feel exhausting because your emotional battery is already running on fumes. The problem is, the more you isolate, the worse depression gets. And that's how the cycle keeps spinning. If you're thinking, wow, this is me, I need you to hear something. You are not broken, you are not lazy, and you are definitely not alone. I once knew someone who called herself the laziest person alive. She apologized for everything, for resting, for saying no, for being unproductive. Turns out she wasn't lazy at all. She had been living with untreated depression for years. When she finally got help, she didn't turn into a workaholic overnight, but she started smiling again. She started cooking again. She started feeling human again. And that's the point. The goal isn't to become a productivity robot. It's to feel alive in your own life. If you've seen yourself in any of these signs, talk to someone. A therapist, a doctor, even a friend you trust. You don't have to push through alone. And please, stop calling yourself lazy when what you are is hurting. That's like calling a broken leg a walking problem. If you want more videos that tear apart these mental health myths, hit subscribe right now. Because in the next video, we're uncovering 3 silent habits that slowly destroy your mental health without you even realizing. And trust me, you won't see them coming.